Well,
We appreciate you accepting this part of us.
well, I want you to know that we brought our A game. This is the cutest of our group. So,
He's mostly
this is the
talking about
best.
me.
This is the best. Yeah, this is the best we got.
This is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I do have to say, I really appreciate the Star Wars and horror theme behind you guys. Very
Oh
good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Very
We
good.
Thank you.
we got lots of fun nostalgic shit behind me.
Yeah.
Lots like got my Superman, lots of He-Man, lots of good times. Good times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we definitely
Typical.
should talk about at some point, like, who's your favorite Master of the Universe character and why is it Fisto?
Dude,
I'm sorry. Just keep going.
Fisto's a good one. I like
I just
Stinkor. Stinkor is
Stinkor's a
also a
good
good.
one.
Yeah.
Mecha neck.
Stinkor's legit.
Mechanic. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I need
Well,
Ma-
Goku.
we can it
Manny
will
faces.
man. Oh man, there's so many. There's so many. And since Gibby actually is recording, that's where the show is gonna start. Right
Good.
there. We're gonna
It should.
start it. We're gonna start it right there. And now I'll pop in with the intro because everybody loves when we do a nice random start. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Where Did All My Friends Go? Podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. With me, as always, is a super Gibby. And today we got something special. We've got Dom and Andy from Tsunami Bomb. Welcome to the show, guys.
Happy to be
Hello.
here.
Happy to have you. Yeah, like I said, sometimes just even the interview I was just editing before we hopped on this has a nice super random intro because we're just talking and the conversation was so fun. We just started it right there. So why not? This is our show. We do what we want.
Yeah. Hell
We
yeah.
don't care. We don't
You
care.
don't
I'm
you
into
don't
it.
you don't always need to start with a perfectly segmented intro. It doesn't have to be that way. You
No.
know,
There's no
people
rules.
No, you drop in the middle of a conversation, and then everyone listening is like, "What did I miss?" I
Yeah.
have to
yeah,
And
stay
then they're intrigued. Yeah.
involved.
and that's the sad part for them. They'll never know what they missed. Never.
No, no. I'll
No,
just
It's
say
what we
not
call
I'll
in the
just say one
biz.
word.
It's what we call in the
Fisto. That's
biz a
it. We don't know.
teaser.
stuff.
Yeah.
Not unless for what was it like 59.99 you join our Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have that. That would be so much for a Patreon.
Yeah.
59.99.
That would be
So
a lot.
much.
I mean, a month. If it was like a year, I can see it being okay.
Yeah, I could do it.
Alternative Tentacles has a tier that's almost that high. You get a lot
Really?
for it.
But you
Yeah.
get a
Oh
lot
man.
for it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
like
I
the
so
top
much.
tier. Yeah,
That's
you
like
get like
that's the god tier.
yeah, we call
Yeah.
it plague.
Plague.
It's the you are Jello tier. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You get everything that we're doing tier is
Yeah.
what that is.
Uh,
Yeah.
perfect.
I
That's
love
that's the
that.
best tier.
Yeah.
Um, so I was gonna actually start off with like because recently you recorded a song called Star Power for the Sing Me a Story Foundation, which is really cool. I really enjoy what they're doing. But for the like our listeners that don't know what Sing Me a Story is, would you want to tell us a little bit about the song and kind of about how you got working with them?
Well, I'll take the first part and then Andy can take the second part. So Sing Me a Story is a group that takes children who are sick, who
Mhm.
are going through going through different medical issues, and they take on different, they also partner with different groups and charities that involved with the child. And then the child will draw or write a story and present it, and they will find musicians and bands to take that story and turn it into a song. And they use it to help raise money for both their charity as of getting these kids out there and their stories out there and plugged into musicians, as well as the charity that is paired with the child itself. So our story, they had contacted us about doing something, and most of the times when they do it, this is usually acoustic. People
Mhm.
just will do like an acoustic song, um, and they contacted us, and our keyboard player Courtney started, Oubliette is what she's known by, started going through and looking at a bunch of different stories, and found a story by a girl named Charlie who was 8 years old, who is partnered with the Children's Cancer Partners of Carolinas. And her story, which I really am convinced is a veiled suggestion to her parents to get her a dog, was all about her and her brother finding a dog named Star, who came down and gave them powers. And then they
That's
used
cool.
those powers to save the world. So Oubliette was like, I want to do this one.
Yeah.
This is a great song. And at the time, nobody had done it. And we talked about the different ways. And since we're so fractured, because we don't, like, most of us live semi close around the California Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, but
Yeah.
Oubliette lives out in New York, and even that's a misnomer to say like we all live around the Bay Area. We live, like, the furthest distance between two of us, I think, is like 3 hours. So it's a ways. Um, but so we didn't really have a lot of opportunity to get together, or for them to like meet us and film it. So we decided to actually record the track as a band, which is something we normally, they don't normally have. And
Right.
so we made a whole new song called Star Power. And at this point, I will let our guitarist Andy pick this up.
That's me. Yeah, and so we had a bunch of demos that we had been working on for the last few years, and one of them in particular just kind of stood out as one that Oubliette thought would be a great fit. And she had come up with like the lyrics and the melody like pretty quickly based on this demo that we had. And it really just came together super fast at that point. So we already had the music. Um, Ahead of time, and then it took, I think, a couple of weeks, I think, to flesh out all of the lyrics to get them finally tuned.
Sure.
And yeah, it just kind of came together, and it worked out. And so we recorded that along with a few other songs that are going to be part of a few other releases that we have lined up going into next year. And yeah, we love the foundation. We love everything that they're about, and we were so happy to work with them. And um, some friends of Oubliette's were able to actually put together a really cool lyric video for it as well, which we've broadcast out there, and that came together so great. It's this cool kind of stop motion animation lyric video with like cutouts and paper cutouts and everything. It's really
So
neat.
fun.
Yeah,
That it's so fun.
yeah, and we love that this song showcases a bit of our, for lack of a better word, like kind of poppier side.
Yeah.
Because, we kind of go back and forth between having a little bit of like that kind of minor key, overarching kind of darker tone, right? With
Right.
some of the songs, like a little bit more like heavier. And then we also balance that out with some of the more like saccharine sweet pop stuff. And this is more on that end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and since it's a fully recorded song, we put it up right now. The only place you could hear it or download it is at singmeastory.org. And any amount that
Hmm.
you donate gets you the song, and that money goes to supporting Charlie and Sing Me a Story and Children's Cancer Partners of Carolinas.
Right.
So, since it's a recorded song, not an acoustic, we are going to put it on a 7 inch that's coming out on Alternative Tentacles. The other side, ironically, is a song very much more in the vein that Andy was talking about, a darker, anthemic song called I Was Betrayed that we did. And so, Alternative Tentacles is going to put that out. And the cool part about it is that a big chunk of proceeds from that is going to be donated directly to Sing Me a Story, and Children's Cancer Partners of Carolinas. So it's going to be widely released, but they're going to benefit from the money that comes in from the track.
That's amazing. I love it. I think the Sing Me a Story Foundation is such a cool uh idea, even just in general that somebody came up with is like because I was reached out to them by them years ago when for
Mm.
a band I was in, and I was like, holy cow, this is so cool. Like I love this. And so when I saw that that was something that you guys had also done, I was just really excited to talk about it. I thought I think more people need to hear about it, and so it's really exciting that, you know, a band I like has also done that. So it's
Yeah,
awesome.
we were really quite taken by the fact that so many bands have been involved in this, and
Yeah.
bands from all over, the spectrum. There's like Less Than Jake is up there,
Hmm.
and I think Goldfinger did one too,
Okay.
I think so.
or maybe it was just John Feldman, but nonetheless, there's larger bands, like more well-known bands, and then there's plenty of bands that are a little bit more obscure.
Hmm.
But it's just such a great idea, like that whole concept. We love it. We love being involved in things like that. So like, if for what it's worth, if there's an organization out there that likes partnering with bands, hit us up. Like, we're all for that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I hope
as long as
Charlie liked
you're,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just
We
hope
don't we don't
Charlie
even.
liked it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if, yeah, if Charlie's heard it or not. Yeah.
She liked. She was like she was originally 8. She's probably like 9 now, and I
Hmm.
I know that she likes Katy Perry. So I'm not sure how much we were able to change. That's one of the other reasons why we made it so catchy.
Hmm.
I think it's great. Like I think it sounds like, to me, it makes me feel like it's a Saturday. It sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon theme
Mm,
song to me, which I
totally.
really like. Um, so I don't know. So I hope she likes it.
I
I hope she
mean,
likes it. If she,
I mean, if Charlie likes Katy Perry, very clearly is going to like Tsunami Bomb. So,
maybe,
you
I
know,
mean, maybe she likes the weirder
Synonymous.
stuff, the weirder stuff from Katy Perry. I don't know. But no, honestly, I hope she does. I hope she did get a kick out of the song. And
hell
it's
yeah.
cool because two other groups made versions of that song, because multiple different people can take the story and make a song
Yeah.
to it. So it's pretty
Hell yeah.
great. So yeah, if you listen to this and you hear it, it's good. The song's going to be out everywhere, but if you hear it, but if it's not out by this time this comes out, it's coming out probably spring. But you can still
Hmm.
go to singmeastory.org, look up Tsunami Bomb or look up Star Power, and you will find it. And and you can donate any amount of money, and it goes straight to charity, and it's a really good cause, and we would really appreciate it if you did it. And it's raised some money, and we hope to raise a whole lot more with it, but it's a cool thing. They're doing cool stuff.
Hell yeah. So make sure to go check that out.
So you guys touched on this a little bit that you guys are going to be putting Star Power on a 7-inch.
Mhm.
Um, does that mean you guys are going to have potentially more new music in the works as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. I mean, I think it's okay to say this. I mean,
I
we
think we can kind of like allude to it,
Yeah.
without
yeah,
giving too
so
many
we have
You don't gotta
specifics.
give
Yeah.
it all
there's
away.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll say we have planned right now. We have 3 different EP releases coming
Oh,
for this next year, for 2025. There's also a possibility of some other things. We're trying to do an album. We have about an album's worth of material. We were hoping to record now-ish, but we had to
Yeah. It would have been around
postpone.
now.
Yeah, it would have been around now, but we had to postpone. And I feel like, I still feel like it's going to happen because we have the material and everybody wants to do it. It's hard sometimes to get us all on the same page and get us all moving forward.
Totally.
It was easier when we were all a bunch of kids, but I think that it's going to happen. I'm really excited about the album. I really love the songs, but I'm excited that we have 3 different EPs rolling out, and we're also talking about this. I don't know if we're going to do this, so I'm going to say this without knowing that we're doing this. This might not happen, but we've been talking about the possibility of releasing The Invasion from Within as a vinyl, as a LP EP, because it's never been on vinyl. It was only
Yeah.
been on CD. So, and you can get it on vinyl if you get like our collection, the Trust No One collection, but like of the earlier stuff. But it's never had its own release, and its art is so cool, and it's just such a great thing. And 6 cool songs. It would be fun to kind of just put that out. And this next year, I think is was it 25 years this next year? Is that? Oh my God.
Believe
No,
believe next year's, well,
not
Invasion
25.
was. Invasion came out in
15?
2000,
Yeah, it did 2000.
so
Dang.
it would be 25 then. Yeah.
Okay,
Woof.
so then maybe I should do it. Maybe we definitely should do it. So that's great.
And everybody loves
25 years
vinyl.
old.
Everybody loves vinyl right now. It's
Uh,
so awesome.
I don't know about that.
No?
I like
No.
vinyl.
No, I
Oh
think,
man.
sorry, I only say that because I run my own record label
Yeah.
and sales have dropped. So,
Oh really? Okay.
Hmm.
yeah, I think people, no, I'll say this. People love vinyl, but vinyl's expensive. So it's gotten a
Yeah,
little
Yes,
bit
it is. It
less
so
affordable.
is.
So I will,
So,
yeah.
they love it, but they can't necessarily afford it. And that's fine, but
totally.
yeah.
What so just like side question then. So since you do like run your own label, what do you think what's what are people like buying right now? What are consumers getting? Like, with between vinyl, cassettes, CDs, like what physical music are people doing right now?
So people are still buying vinyl, but from my perspective, people are spending a lot of money on reissues and
Okay,
represses,
sure.
especially stuff that's been out of press for a long time. So there's so much music that came out around, like for instance, The Invasion from Within is a great example of this, right? Was only ever out on CD,
Hmm.
wasn't on streaming originally, so you had to buy it on CD back then
Sure.
to get it, right? And then eventually you could pirate it if you wanted to through like Napster or something like that. Um, but if you want the vinyl of it, we would have to reissue it either as a band or through a label. And there is so much music in our genre that came out around the same time as the Invasion or Definitive Act or the Ultimate Escape that is being reissued at this point, and people are eating it up.
Mm,
They're just eating it up.
yeah.
But younger, newer artists, unless you kind of are really popping off, um, it's tougher.
Yeah.
And
It's expensive.
people only have so many dollars to spend, and so they're going to spend the money on the things that they really you know care about. And usually there has to be like an emotional attachment to that kind of stuff, because there are plenty of people that kind of have a bunch of expendable money and like they'll just buy stuff willy-nilly, and that's awesome, if you can do that. But for most people, I would say that they cannot, and so they are going to gravitate to the things that they care more about. And those reissues, especially stuff like from when you were younger, kind of mean a lot,
Totally.
versus the newer band who you like, but you're still not sure about. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. Um, so speaking of like reissues and older music, so Tsunami Bomb has a history spanning all the way back to 1998. What song or songs would you say mean the most to you personally, and why?
That's tough. That's a
Yeah,
tough one.
yeah.
Because I feel like, you're kind of asking me like pick your favorite child.
I am asking
Right.
that.
Pick your favorite child. And then, including like the ones that happened, there was an album I'm not on. And it's like those are adopted children.
Sure.
Like so, you know, um
I mean, I like this question because just because a lot of times, it's a song that is like even a deeper cut, or something that you a lot of listeners may not think is a favorite song. Because I know there are definitely like songs I've written throughout time that are like, I'm like, man, I really like this one even though nobody else really did.
oh, I've definitely had situations with the albums like where I thought a song when I wrote it, I was like, this is going to be great. Like
Hmm.
I feel like it's captured this feeling and this intention. It has this emotion by it. And then by the time it gets through the filter of everyone else and makes it onto the album, I'm like, this is trash. This is not going to do, this didn't turn out the way I wanted. Oh my God, that sucks.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's hard. There's a lot of time with Tsunami Bomb. And Tsunami Bomb has a very one of the best things, in my opinion, about Tsunami Bomb, the thing that has kept me coming back to Tsunami Bomb, the why I care so much about Tsunami Bomb, is I think that it found its way to a very unique perspective. Um, Jello Biafra once said, he's like, Tsunami Bomb doesn't sound like anybody. People sound like Tsunami Bomb. Tsunami Bomb has its own unique take. And when it takes over, when it covers a song, when you guys do anything, it's like 100% yours. And it's hard to put a finger on it. And he's compared us a lot to like everything from like Queens of the Stone Age to Blondie to bands that have like a very definitive, like, that's them.
Yeah.
It's their sound. That's how they sound. It's not that you can't hear things in our sound, because of course you could. We're influenced. I could give everyone a laundry list of the influences that have helped shape Tsunami Bomb's sound. But one of the things that I'm most proud of this band's journey is that its sound is a unique thing, and that's what we do try to do. Because I mean, everybody in this band can come up with songs all day long, but they're not all Tsunami Bomb songs.
Right.
But they can be. It's like, there, and it's not to say you don't want to get captured in that, where you don't experiment, or you don't grow, you don't expand. Like, you have to. And bringing it back after all the changes and the time that we were not a band, to bring it back, it still felt true to that. But so, I mean, if I was to say, I mean, should I name one, or should I name a
It's up to
few?
you. Whatever you want to do.
That's hard.
Whatever your heart tells you.
I would say I'll name three.
Okay.
Because I think I have to.
Fair.
I think. Well, this is tough. All right, so I think Lemonade is a really good song to define the catchier side of Tsunami Bomb, the irreverent, poppy. I mean, it's not necessarily what you think of when you think of pop punk, even though it is pop punk. It is, that song was written to be almost sound like it was a Broadway musical song. But simple. So Lemonade, I think, defines a lot about it. I think this is tough. Take the Reins, I think, is a very important song in Tsunami Bomb's catalog. I think it carries the dark anthemic edge of Tsunami Bomb. And then I would say probably The Lullaby for the End of the World, which I think captures a certain groove that sits between both of those, where you get the side that's catchier and then the side that's darker, and it's mixed together, and it kind of has this sort of swingy groove to it, and that is almost a ska feel inside of this weird band that caters to being punk, pop, hardcore, metal, and ska all at the same time, sometimes in the same song. So, you could justify why you're liking it. So it's very hard for me to narrow it down to those three, and I feel like I'm leaving a lot out. But of those three, I would say they're very definitive moments in Tsunami Bomb's audio catalog.
I love it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to make you do it.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like Invasion from Within is like, what happened to me? Or Naysayers is like, what have I not worked for you? Have I not made crowds move?
Well,
take me off the set.
Yeah,
Don't put those other songs on the set.
What have I done? Have I not made people laugh with the irreverent humor? Yeah, so yeah, I mean, but if I had to narrow it down, I would say those three do a decent job of illustrating the extremes and then the kind of hybrid in the middle. Your turn, Andy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's lucky he had more time.
having not been in the band in the earlier renditions of it, I'm not as, I guess, emotionally attached to as many of those songs.
Yeah,
they're not as precious to you. Wow. I'm just kidding.
They're bad. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't write them,
man.
so obviously they're
I
bad.
watched you there.
It's bad music. It's bad music.
You came out. You were there.
Yeah. No, I did. I was at the first show. So the songs that I think really are the most like iconic. I mean, I agree. Lemonade. It's one of the most popular songs of the band, far and above, a bunch of the others, and it's certainly probably the most requested song that we get when we play live. Um, the boos are very present when we do not play it, so we play it. We play it. And I'm very partial to the song "Not Forever." I personally just really love playing that song. I think it's a really fun song to play. The energy is really, bombastic, and I like the theme of it. I love the lyrical themes behind it, and from the newer material, I'm really partial to uh, like the Hawthors and Naysayers. I think those two songs kind of help really. I think that those two songs really helped remind people that, hey, like, we're still here to kick ass,
Totally.
because as much as there's been this long break between when the band stopped playing originally and then came back. Like, we can still bring some good intensity to our live show and to the recordings, and I think that everyone just nailed those songs, both live and on the recording.
I want to throw one more in just because I feel like this is a good example of a song that I think is great and it
Yeah.
gets ignored even by the band because we don't play it and it pisses me off that we don't. Is Sinkhole off the album. Like, to me, it is a fantastic. I feel like I'm tuning our own horn, but I'm like really proud of the pop song that it is and the arrangement that we gave it, which is it's not a usual arrangement of how it's set out like a pop song. And it's really like it wasn't just like verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, double chorus. It
Totally.
it has a kind of a mirror arrangement, the first half and the last half, and it was I was really proud of it. And then I thought, like, yeah, this song is going to be really good. This is going to be a great song. It'll be in the set. It'll be everything. And it was kind of my response initially to like some of the comparisons to other contemporary pop punk bands that I didn't like, where they were like, oh yeah, this band just sounds like Tsunami Bomb, and I was kind of like, no, they don't. I don't hear that at all, and this is what we sound like. This is what we would do.
Right.
And I thought it was really cool and a lot of intention, and I thought it would take off. And while I've heard from musicians how much they like it, there's been musicians that have pointed out that's a song they love. The band doesn't play it live, and we don't get a lot of requests for it. It's got some decent plays in streaming and stuff, but I was just like, I thought that one was gonna like, I thought that was
Thought it was gonna be it.
like a home run, and while it has its fans, um it didn't even get the love in the band itself. Like, even the band as a whole doesn't go like when it gets suggested, they're like, and but I did think that one, I think that one is worthy of listening to. If
I
you're like
love it.
listening and you're like, who is this band? I would check that one out. I thought it was cool, but
I love it. That's the answer right there. That's the one that's gonna get people listening to go be like, I'm gonna go check that one out. That I don't, you know,
we put a lot of
that's
work
gonna
into
be the
that,
one.
and I thought everybody did a really good job, and I thought it had this really cool keyboard sound, and it's very dark, but it's very catchy, and it's very, the arrangement I was really proud of, and then it just was like, cool, good job.
I don't if you're not
And it's
pausing
like,
if you're
okay.
not pausing the podcast right now to go listen to that, I don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, take a note. It's worth it. It's worth listening to. All those songs are worth listening to. The ones he mentioned and everything. They all have a reason.
100%.
So something I didn't know until Pat brought this up for the questions. In 2017, Rolling Stone named your album The Ultimate Escape as one of the 50 greatest pop punk albums of all time. How did that feel to receive news like that? Because that's such a big deal. That's Rolling Stone. And it said of all time, not just of the year, of the decade, of all time.
That was wild. It was funny because I saw first that that article had come out and that the Ataris had gotten an album on it. And I
Mhm.
wrote Chris and I was like, dude, congratulations. You totally
Awesome.
deserve it. This is a great album. And then I saw somebody else. Who was it? Somebody else was on it and I wrote them and I was like, so great. And then like somebody, one of them wrote me back going, yeah, congratulations to you too. And I was like, for what? Because I hadn't like looked at the list.
You didn't
I was
look
like,
all the way through the
for
list.
what? And they're like, are you serious? And I was like, and I didn't know what they were talking because I didn't see the article. It was like kind of how you react online, like you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, and you see somebody
Yeah.
posting about it, and you're like, oh, it's awesome,
Oh shit.
congratulations. And you write
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That's sick. It's like I didn't have time to read it. I just saw like, oh, we're number this, or it's so great to be mentioned. And I was like, oh man, you deserve it. And then like I forget who it might have been Chris Rowe, but Christopher Rowe. I don't think so. It was somebody who was just like, yeah, congratulations, you too. And I was like, for what? And they're like,
For why
and
are
they
you
were like, are you
congratulating me?
serious? Are you absolutely serious right now? And I'm like, for what? And they're like, maybe you should look at the list. And I was like, oh, yeah, I haven't. And they're like, yeah, you should look at the list. And so I'm scrolling down and I'm seeing friends and contemporaries and bands I like idolized. And I'm just like, oh shit.
That's awesome.
So it's wild. It was really, that was really kind. I didn't see that coming. I don't think anybody did. But yeah, it's more an indication of just how impactful that it was just the right place, right time kind of album, and it really
100%.
resonated with people. And it's so funny because I have my own that album was right, every Tsunami Bomb album, including the one we're trying to record, has been a struggle in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. It's just some bands record it like easy, Tsunami Bomb does not, and has never. In any variation of the band throughout the years. The worst struggle was probably the Ultimate Escape. We had a very hard time with the producer of that record. We did not get along, and I
Hmm.
wanted to fire him. Uh, and it was very contentious, and I feel like not because of him, because I didn't agree, and a lot of the things I had to fight him for a lot on that record. And I am very happy with the things I fought for and the things that ended up happening. And I don't, he's very skilled. I just don't agree with how he approaches things and how he approached people. We never worked with him again. I don't think he's a bad person, but I just think he and the band did not get along and we had different visions. And we had to really fight to carry through as much vision as we could and intention into that record. And it was a very tough record because Oubliette had left, was no longer in the band, while,
Hmm.
you know, her writing is there and her keyboard parts influenced a lot of what certain guitar parts did.
Hmm.
I think it would have been a better record with her on it. She should have been on it. I'm mad at myself, kind of mad at her. I'm mad at the band for not working harder to keep her and
Sure.
keep her in the band and getting her on that record because she deserved it. And she's the asterisk on that label, on that record, because she should have been there and she did contribute to it and contribute to the atmosphere of it, even though the keyboards aren't present. And but it was very defining for us because we were doing it without her. And then we like run smack into this producer that the situation was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And but despite all of that, I think this album came out and it meant a lot to people. And it was amazing to me that in the voting process of Rolling Stone, that they felt that it was worthy of so much recognition. And I didn't see that coming, but it's really nice that it happened. And it means a lot, because you don't you do this and everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a big band, you guys get this, you guys do that, and it's like, yeah, mostly it's like you're just trying to make this thing happen and trying to make something that you can be proud of and trying to exist and live and survive and make ends meet and make
Yeah.
your life work in the insanity that you are adding into it by being part of the music scene. And everybody has this like aspect, it's like I think some of the articles that came out about no effects as they were breaking up, when people were shocked that Smelly had done delivery during the pandemic because they weren't playing. And he was,
Mm-hmm.
people don't think about the reality of this and the isolating aspects of the struggle of making this life work.
Yeah.
And then you get something like that. And it's not like it didn't make us money. Nobody gave us a prize, but like it just to have uh, a seminal magazine and a bunch of journalists get together and vote and then select that as one of the greatest pop punk albums of all time. That's like really humbling. And I
Yeah.
just really grateful that for all that struggle, it was worth it and that it meant something to it means as much to me when somebody comes up and talks about how that album meant a lot to them or a song off the album meant a lot to them. It's the same thing because I also have been in a place where I walked into a record store and I joked, I was like, one of these days I'm going to find myself in the dollar bin, and then at that exact moment I found it in the dollar bin, that album. So it was like wild to go from and kind of having, while it didn't matter that it was in Dollar Bin, there was a little bit of a heartbreak because of how hard it was to make
Right.
that record. So that's a very long-winded answer to say that I'm humbled and I feel really lucky that we got that happened, and it means a lot to me.
Well,
And it meant
it's
a
well
lot to all of
deserved.
us.
Well
Thank
deserved
you.
for sure.
Because
Well,
I
I'd
could sit
like to
there and
just,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'd like to add, as somebody who, you know, while the band was in its first, iterations, was effectively like a peer of theirs, like playing in bands besides them.
Mhm.
To see them, you know, get their due after, like, I mean, Tsunami Bomb back in the day was a workhorse. Like
Yeah.
there were few bands that I saw out of the scene that we came from working as hard as they did. And they all of that effort and all of that work can definitely go unnoticed and not appreciated. And to see something like that happen for a band that you knew worked their asses off to get anywhere, you know, it is so awesome. And I'm really proud of Dom and Oubliette and Gabe and Emily, and everyone that's been involved in the band over the years, because I'm friends with everyone in
Mhm.
all the iterations of the band. And now I get to be involved in it. And like, to me, that's like really special and so cool that I even get to be associated with that in any way. Because even though I didn't write those songs and I wasn't there at the beginning, you know, like I do feel like in some way I kind of was, because I was like their friend and like I was like supporting them, in that way. And
Totally.
so, like, again, like just because I get to even be associated with it at all is so cool, and I'm so proud of them, as their friend and as their now, coworker, as it were.
Bandmate.
Yeah,
Bandmate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah.
coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're a business. Yeah, we're starting a meme coin here soon. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Oh
Just
God,
don't
no.
pump and dump, okay? Don't
Yeah,
pull
I
the
know. Did
rug
you hear about
under.
that?
Don't
Oh
pull
yeah.
the rug under
Hot
everyone.
hot
Like
hot
the
duo lady is in a lot of trouble
Oh
apparently.
yeah. Oh
oh
yeah.
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 But kind of going off of talking about the difficulties of being in a band, how much work it is. Because a lot of times people don't really, you brought this to attention while you were talking though. Most people don't understand how much goes into just being in a band. You're not just like going and hanging out and just playing music and in like with your friends and just fucking around.
I mean,
Um,
you are, but
you are
it takes a lot more than that,
but
like
there's
to make that
definitely
happen.
more. But I mean, so much has changed in the music industry and just expectations of being in a band in general since Tsunami Bomb formed, especially with the rise and takeover of social media. With like all of your experience and Andrew as well as having a record label, what would you say are some quote unquote old school techniques that new bands today shouldn't sleep on in favor of just focusing on social media when trying to get their band out there?
Yeah, I mean that's a really great question. And I mean, to start off with, I would say I think it's really important to be careful not to overplay
Hmm.
locally.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard lesson because a lot of bands when they're starting out, they get very excited. They want to play all the time. And if, especially nowadays, because it is so expensive to be a road band, right?
Hmm.
You can get into this trap of playing your local area a lot because you want to play shows, and so you have these opportunities come up, and then you play, but then you basically become the house band, right?
Right.
And that's a really easy way to not only burn yourself out, but to burn out your audience. And if you can temper that urge to play your local scene all the time and maybe focus instead on making all of your local events more special and make them, like a real event, like put a
Yeah.
ton of energy into like 4 local shows a year versus 20.
Totally.
And even if it means that you can't go and play a bunch of shows outside your area to kind of compensate for that and to fill that need to perform live, at least the shows you were playing are going to potentially, with enough work and effort, be awesome. And it'll kind of elevate your kind of stature to a degree. And I hate to say it, but a lot of stuff is impressions, Like, I mean, if
Hmm.
if you seem like you're a big band, that's what people think,
Totally.
right?
Hmm.
So if you're selling out a local venue that holds 200 people 4 times a year, people are going to notice that. But if you're playing to 25 people 20 times a year, no one cares. I hate to say it.
No, it's
I
true.
don't mean to be I don't mean to be so bleak when I say that, but it's a hard truth
No, it's
that
totally true. Hmm.
people are not going to be nearly as interested in a band that's only playing to 20 people every other week. So that's something I think that any band can do, regardless of genre or whatever. Another thing I would say is that old school flyering, people don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And it helps. I mean, because you get the one-on-one, like, hey, come see my band, come see my band, come see my band, you know?
Hmm.
And or you can then have a conversation with people too. And you're not going to win everyone over, but I think that it's a good way to not only build, I think, camaraderie amongst your bandmates, but you get FaceTime with people. But it's also to be said that like a good friend of mine pointed this out. You can spend, 20 hours a month hand billing and then spend an additional like $100 on the materials, or you could just spend $50 on a social media ad and get probably just as much effect out of it. So there's plenty of good things to be said about using social media to your advantage,
Hmm.
but getting that FaceTime and like doing the hand billing and like the flyering, it still matters.
I
So
think a
those are
good
two things I would say help. Yeah.
I think a good mix of doing both, that's kind of,
Sure.
that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck is, obviously taking
Yeah, and
advantage of everything.
Sure.
yeah, and I think he's definitely it's 100%, 100%. Like you have to create a certain amount of there for your band
Hmm.
because you are competing with so many other things, social media, different that, and people don't have as much money as they once did. It is a fact, even at our level and the level of bands larger than us. We all got recently an email from our booking agency, and I'm sure other agencies have said this. Ticket sales are down across the board at every level, at every
Right.
tier.
Hmm.
So from arenas, the bands on, the booking agency that are packing arenas, to the stadiums, to clubs, to small clubs, to garage shows, it's down. And so what Andy was saying is incredibly important to remember that, you have to make an event out of it.
Hmm.
I think that social media, while it is easy and you get that engagement, there's a lot of noise and people aren't always going. So why are they coming to see you? Why does it matter? What is
Hmm.
happening there? I once saw a thing with Dave Grohl where he said, and I know everybody's all mad at Dave Grohl because he can't keep
I
it in his
fucking love
pants.
Dave Grohl.
Well, it's so weird to me that everybody got mad that he can't keep it in his pants. He's never been able to. Everybody knew this. I don't know why anybody's weird about it, but whatever.
I don't think
Let's pretend he's
it's
always been
nobody's
wholesome.
business.
Yeah,
Nobody's
it's really not.
business.
But he said something really amazing where he said that the best advice that he could give any band, and I'm going to say it, but I'm going to explain it,
Hmm.
is just fucking play.
Hmm.
And here's the reason. At first, when I first heard that, I was like, what does that mean? Because I had people tell me that when I was young.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to get from point A, where I'm this local band, to point B, where I'm in front of actual labels and bigger bands and all this stuff. So here's what I'm going to say to that. So, like what he said, I am not the best bass player that has ever lived, and I never will be. But I
Hmm.
do know that when I pick up the fucking bass and I play that bass, I'm going to make sure that every one of you look at me. You're not looking anywhere else. You're going to look at me because
Hmm.
I am going to play. I play that bass like I fucking hate it, and I will. I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I lose myself. I play the kind of music that makes me lose myself in that music, and I play with my whole heart. I'm not just sitting up there looking like a bunch of people waiting for the bus, fucking around. I am there to just put every part of myself honestly and genuinely into what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in the songs I play. I worked hard for these songs. I worked hard
Hmm.
for this band, and I'm going to deliver it with as much honesty and integrity as I can. And you're going to fucking look at me. Or if you don't like it, you leave. But fuck you
Yeah.
then. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to draw as much attention to myself as possible.
Yeah.
You get there by playing, by actually doing the thing. And how do I become good? How do I, play. And
Yeah.
it's like, and be honest to what you like and try not to pick one band to sound like, pick a bunch. Take your favorite, you don't sit there and go, I want to sound like this. No, sound like this and this and this and this and mix it up as much as you can. And then while you're doing that, when I say go play, like there is a stage when you're a new band where you have to stop playing everything that comes along. And I have another band, Loud Graves, that is having that exact experience where for a while we played anything. And
Hmm.
then now we're looking at it going, okay, now we got to ease back this year and
Hmm.
do exactly what Andy's saying because otherwise it becomes we're playing everything. Now we have some people that care about the band, that like the band, but now we have to make it more events. And if you want to play more, then you're going to have to go out and play somewhere else. Like, wherever your city is, there's another city. You got to go start playing there too. And you
Right.
have to go. And that doesn't mean like just going on tour and wasting your time. Like that means creating an area in which you are known and able to bring in shows.
Hmm.
Um, and bring in people. Because if you claim, like when Tsunami Bomb started, we started touring down south to LA, San Diego. We would drive, we were from the San Francisco Bay Area in the North Bay. We would
Hmm.
play around there. We'd also play down. We'd play our way down. Then we do Vegas. We did Phoenix, Santa Fe. We did Albuquerque, and we generally would go as far as El Paso because after El Paso, it was such a long drive. And we're on the West Coast. So on the East Coast, it's even easier.
So much
But on the
easier.
West Coast,
Yeah.
yeah, and the West Coast it was tough. So when we started, we would do these jaunts because we couldn't keep playing our same place. And like Andy said, we had to make local shows an event. If we wanted
Hmm.
people to keep coming to them, we had to spread them out. So we couldn't play home, so we had to leave. So we'd start working these areas, and we only do the areas we could get back to.
Right.
So it's like if we played El Paso, that means we had to come back to El Paso at least 2 or 3 times that year to make sure that they didn't forget about us. We played once, we played again, and we couldn't get there every month. That was too hard, but we could get there a couple times a year.
Right.
So what happened is after about a year or so of doing that, we had built a crowd, not huge, but a crowd that appeared at all the shows from San Francisco down in this. I used to joke it was the Tsunami Bomb L,
Yeah.
down to Southern California and out to El Paso in the back. And at some point, randomly enough, we got an opportunity where the Vandals, the Ataris had seen us and they had played with us and they recommended us to a bunch of labels and they recommended us to the Vandals. And then somebody said, yeah, you should take them. And then the Vandals said, okay, you guys are coming with us. We'll give you this. And the place they picked, it was Vegas, Albuquerque, Phoenix, Albuquerque, El Paso. And we played with them. And because we had played those areas, everybody showed up and went
Right.
crazy. And then we knew we were playing with them. So we brought all new merch. And so we sold a ton of merch because we brought new stuff they'd never seen before. And that got us on Kung Fu Records because Joe Escalante and Warren Fitzgerald saw us play for them, couldn't believe that people were going crazy. They're like, who the fuck is this band drawing people out in the middle of nowhere?
Mm-hmm.
And then they saw how many people bought stuff, and they were like, I haven't seen people buy this much merch for a female fronted band since No Doubt. And they
Yeah.
signed us. Now, if they'd have taken us to Chicago, we had only been to Chicago like once or twice, but it wouldn't have been that. But because we
Right.
went to a place that we could get to consistently, that was beyond our home, and that we could make events happen there, and as so great as social media is, do not underestimate, even though it sounds like old people saying like, talk, you heard Andy,
Yep.
like, talk to people, No Doubt they blew up during a time when they didn't have the internet to blow up
Mm-hmm.
with. So they would create a mailing list, and the mailing list was actually a fucking mailing list. So was ours in the early days, where we sent out postcards to let
Mm-hmm.
everybody know that we were coming. And then we list all the other dates. And that's what they did. So when you
Mm-hmm.
signed the mailing list, you didn't put your email, you put your address, and we would send you a postcard telling you we were coming. And yes, it was very expensive, but it was the only way we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have spaghetti feeds before their shows. So they would travel and they'd buy a bunch of spaghetti sauce and noodles and they would do on a burner. And outside the club, if you were their street team and your most valuable fans, they'd show up and have spaghetti. There are people out there who grew up having spaghetti with No Doubt while they were on tour, and they're out there and they had a blast doing it, and they
Awesome.
felt like they were part of a community. So that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do to stand out. It doesn't matter what kind of music you're playing. You have to play with intention. You have to play your ass off. You have to believe in what you're doing. Make it interesting. Don't make it sound like don't pick more than one band to sound like, for God's sakes, because somebody's already done that. Take that and combine it with something else you like and something that the other guy in your band likes, and combine it into something as weird as you can make it and as fun as you can make it. And then make it an event. Like he said, don't play a bunch when you first start, but then back it off and get your friend. Because if your friends don't get sick of seeing you all the time, you're done. You have to have at least the friends that you have that come out to you. That's your start. That's the beginning of your community. Build that
Yeah.
community, go further, but go further out where you can keep going. And if you're drawing, like he said, if you're drawing 200, 100, 200 people in multiple cities, people are going to notice. And then when the
Yeah.
opportunity comes, when that band shows up, then you're ready to take advantage of it. And the last thing I'll say really quick is the best advice I ever got was from Kepi of Groovy Ghoulies. When I said, how does my local band, Tsunami Bomb, become like you guys and on Lookout and doing all this stuff? He told me, play with the bands that are on the label you love. So get your band to a position where if you want to be on Fat Records, play with Fat Records bands because they'll tell Fat Records about you if you're doing something cool. If you sound like Lagwagon, and they're going to be like, well, this band sounds like everybody else, so they might not be as interested. So you better take that and take it to the next level. But and you got to be good. You got to
Yeah.
deliver. You got to be awesome. You got to bring what you got to bring people out. People got to care. So that's the last trick that I will tell everybody is, if you want to be on side, if you want to be on any, sell the heart. You know how Andy's going to hear about you if all of his bands are playing with you, and they go,
That's
dude, Andy, there's a band. It's awesome. Check them out.
that's
He
how I
will.
hear about most of the bands, to be honest, is word of mouth.
Yeah.
And
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 yeah.
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Finish up.
you're
I
no,
was
that
gonna
was it.
say the connections is everything, community is everything, and building up a community is so important, not only with other musicians, but your fan base. Like I'm not trying to say this to be rude, but there's a lot of people who are in bands who think that the music is enough. And that's fine, but the music has to connect with people on an emotional level for them to really care about it, to really care about it. Like they can like it, but if they really care about your band, usually there needs to be some sort of like emotional tie-in, right? So that means playing live and getting in front of people, talking to them, communicating with them, giving them something more than just the music. And sometimes your music is good enough. Like that is true. That happens sometimes, right? But I would say more often than not, there needs to be more than that put into it. Last thing I will say to that is, and I learned this trick from some people who I know kind of like insiders, keep records. Like keep like a spreadsheet of how many people are coming to your shows, how much merch are you selling? Like
Totally.
document that stuff. Because if you're trying to level up and you're trying to get like a booking agent or like a label or a manager, they're going to want to know that information because I hate to say it, but a lot of this stuff is data driven.
100%.
And so the more data you have, the more it's going to be to your benefit. So
if this sounds like it sucks, it does.
It does.
Yeah, because it's part of the gig. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time on the show, for real. It's like being in a band. If you want to make a career out of it, there's so much more that goes into it than just fucking around with your friends. That's amazing. That's the best part of it. But if you want to make money, you want to make a career out of it, you got to play the game. As Triple H, always, his music, you got to play the game. I say it all the time.
But good, wise man there.
Yep, right. Typically, this would be the spot where we would say, we got one more question before we go to a break, giving our listeners a piece of advice. But you just gave a whole like book's worth of knowledge. There's so much knowledge. So we're not going to ask that question. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break and we'll be right back with our next segment. Today's episode is sponsored by Chattanooga Beard Company. Are you looking for a quality company to help sexify your beard? Turn it up to 11. Take it to a whole new level. I have tried lots of other products over the many years it's taken to grow these luscious face locks. And then I tried Chattanooga Beard Company, and I kid you not, it changed my beard's life. Their products are made from quality ingredients like sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, beeswax, lanolin, and shea butter. I have at home their shampoo and their conditioner, 2 different scented beard balms, 1838, which is wood, amber, and grapefruit, and churchwarden, which is pipe tobacco and wild cherries, and freedom. I also have 2 of their beard oils, Clean Slate, which is bergamot and lime, and Iron Forged, which smells like coffee and chocolate, and you just want to eat it. My wife loves the smell of their Clean Slate oil. It's been a game changer. You don't have to take my word for it, because who am I other than the lovely looking man with this lovely looking beard? Try it for yourself. Just go to www.chattanoogabeard.co and snag any of these products or one of their other many scents and styles. And as a bonus, if you use our code Unsigned Pop Punk at checkout, you're going to get 15% off your order. So if you love your beard, or you love someone with a beard, try out Chattanooga Beard Company. You won't be mad you did.
And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around. We're hopping into our next segment, everyone's favorite segment, the Food for Thought segment, because who doesn't love talking about food?
Oh, it's
like,
so good.
No one's here to listen to us ramble about music. We're all here to talk about food. Let's be honest.
Skipping forward to the food part. No.
I mean, this would be Oubliette's favorite. She's a big
Oubliette
foodie.
would love this.
They're missing out. They're missing out.
They are. They're on a plane right now somewhere, not eating good food.
We're going to start things off here. The real strong scenario. So bear with me here.
Okay.
You find yourself in the kitchen needing to create a dinner, but a tsunami just made its way through the kitchen.
Like a bomb, right?
like a bomb.
Mm.
Some would say maybe like a tsunami bomb of sorts.
That almost happened to us yesterday. We had a tsunami warning in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
Bay
I
Area.
heard
John,
about
I'm with
that.
you.
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
we were like, our property value is going to go down. Can we all afford homes again? All right,
Yeah.
go on. So,
It's
so
clearly why we worded it this way. So
yeah, perfect.
So
Makes sense.
tsunami bomb hits, right?
Too
So
soon.
everything
Too
is
soon. No,
mixed
I'm just
up.
kidding.
Your job now is to create an ordinary meal that both describes you and your music as well as tastes delicious. What are we serving?
Man, if I didn't know that you played video games from the look of your computer, I definitely know you do now. Your kitchen is crazy. You have to put together a meal.
Yep.
I didn't even write this question, so I'll
Nope.
take that.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, so the scenario is basically things that are in our current
I mean,
pantry or kitchen or just anything.
It's a
So-
mythological kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
realistically, the first part of the question really holds no weight to what the actual question is. It's just kind of
Sure.
like throw you off a little bit.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
real question is, just like what really fuck it doesn't matter. It matters none.
Okay.
Yeah, take that, Matt.
No, I'm cooking. I'm thinking about cooking ankle deep in some water here. So, all
Yeah.
right.
So you're
I'm on
you're
the
ankle
Titanic.
you're ankle deep in some water, right?
Cold.
You
cold up here.
need to make some good food that basically what food describes Tsunami Bomb? That's basically it. What food describes Tsunami
I
Bomb?
mean, I could say that Tsunami Bomb, first off, before we get to the food, the drink itself would definitely be a tiki drink. We
I was gonna
would
say it's
grab
probably
some rum.
liquor.
Yeah.
Probably booze.
Tsunami Bomb loves to do
Love it.
tiki bars together. That's something as friends we do together.
Love that.
If there's a tiki bar around, we go, hands down every time. So Tsunami Bomb meal, if I got to prepare something while I'm in the waters, the dirty, filthy salt water of the ocean that has crawled through the city, I'm going to first fix myself a stiff zombie with a lot of rum because I'm going to need my strength,
Yeah.
fortitude, I'm going to need mental fortitude, but I still want it to be tasty.
Totally.
Um, so I'll take the time to put in an umbrella because I want to have fun. It's important. If you're going to, everything's coming up Millhouse, I got to be ready.
Yes.
So yeah, cuffs.
Everything's coming up the Millhouse.
My pants are cuffed just high enough so the water doesn't get my pants wet. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
My wife and me, like my wife is a huge Simpsons fan. And the funny thing is that you bring that up. Just sorry to cut you off, but
it's a conversation.
We literally say that anytime something good happens, everything's coming up Tarnowski.
Nice.
Always. Yeah.
Nice.
I will say this about Tsunami Bomb. Tsunami Bomb, okay, so Tsunami Bomb really likes tiki drinks and tiki bars. The more fun, the better. As a whole, we do
the more
that
tiki,
together.
the better.
We also
But I will
like.
also...
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say
we're foodies.
we like late night hotel snacks.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens.
So I was gonna say maybe we DoorDash something that it comes to us.
There's a tsunami, man.
There's a
that's like
tsunami. You're ankle deep,
Hey,
and you're gonna have a
somebody in
DoorDasher.
a jacked up truck like willing to DoorDash, but
we're actually a bunch of foodies. I think that Tsunami
Yeah.
Bomb, we tend to on tour, we go to some pretty great restaurants. Oubliette, our keyboard player, co-vocalist, is a manager of a number of restaurants in the Woodstock, New York area, Phoenicia, New York, and Phoenicia Diner, for instance, and they're amazing. And this woman has the best, it's like Toucan Sam for good restaurants. So like we just follow her nose and she takes us someplace great. But she is also a trash raccoon at night when we get back to the hotel, and she will order crazy shit for us all. So it's really hard again to pick a meal that summarizes. I can pick a meal. I could probably pick meals for each member, but I would say as a group, definitely a tiki drink, and then I would say I would probably make you know, since I'm answering the question, I'm going to lean it. I'll probably do a pasta dish like a ravioli, spinach stuffed. It'd be kind of really unique tasting, really rugged, but really unforgettable. The flavor would be really good. It would be a spinach, parmesan, basil, uh, beef hamburger stuffed ravioli with a really great sauce. So rugged, hefty, but unforgettable
Love it.
in your mind because you taste it and you're like, oh my God, this stuff is delicious. I'm gonna have this forever. That's the tsunami bomb dish.
Well, I
But
mean,
I'm Sicilian. I'm the Sicilian in the band, so I'm answering like that. I probably should say it would be more of a Pacific Islander kind of thing, but no, I'm gonna say
well,
it's an unforgettable pasta dish.
And
well,
now
here's the
time for part two of the question. Now
Okay. Oh,
you
Andy
gotta
didn't get to
cook it
answer.
up and send it to me.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
I could
I
do
was
that.
like, what are we
I
doing?
could do
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
could do that.
there we go.
Yeah.
I love it. Um, so
But you know,
to make y'all think now, since we already didn't make you think at that first question. That first question was so easy. Um, the second question we got for you, it's kind of going on that same vein, trying to throw you off a little bit to start with. So
nice.
Google, right? Google says, we're just and Wikipedia and all the stuff says Petaluma, you're all from Petaluma. So
Yeah.
you can answer this from wherever you're located currently. But Google says Petaluma is famous for world-class beers and ales, award-winning olive oils, and artisan cheeses. So with that being said, if you're having some friends come from out of town, they're coming over to where you're at, where's the best place to get a taco?
Man, you're talking about the Bay
Uh,
Area.
yeah. I mean, in the Bay Area, we're pretty rich with good taquerias.
Which is why I threw you off with
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
I mean, in the North Bay area, which is where the band is from, I'm partial to El Tapatio in Roanoke Park. I like that place. Also, Santa Rosa Taqueria on Mendocino Avenue is very good. But in the Bay Area, kind of more in general, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to beat San Francisco Mission Burrito from like
Mm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
Taqueria Cancun is really great. They have a few locations in the Mission. In the East Bay, there's a place called Taqueria Monte Cristo in Berkeley. It's really great.
I love me some good tacos.
Hmm. Their
Dom,
mole
are you
is
looking up some tacos?
Well, I had to remember because growing up, when Tsunami Bomb was coming up in Petaluma, I would have said this place called the Playa Azul, which
Okay.
was right downtown, not far from the Phoenix Theater, and a bunch of us would eat there. Not all of us, but we would eat there, and it was a really great place. And I would 100% take you there, but it no longer exists. It closed
Okay.
down years ago. So probably nowadays, I'd probably take you down from the Phoenix Theater in Petaluma to Kentucky Street. I had to look up the name again. It was Mi Pueblo. There's a good
Oh.
place there. I think that is a legit. If you're in Petaluma, California, and you're checking out the Phoenix Theater where Tsunami Bomb came from, walk down a block to Kentucky Avenue and hit up Mi Pueblo. That would be a great place for a taco. If you are in the Bay Area, there is a taco truck on Lake Merritt in Oakland. Um, let me remember what it's like. I think it's called Mi Rancho. Is that the place? Um, and it's got burritos as long as your arm,
Oh.
Mm.
and it's amazing. Yeah, Tacos Mi Rancho. There's a taco truck near Lake Merritt. I 100% recommend it if you find yourself in Oakland. If you're in San Francisco, head up on Valencia Street and throw a rock because every one of those places are awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're in San Francisco, go to Valencia Street. They're fantastic. South of Market. There's a million amazing places, but Petaluma. So Oakland, Tacos Mi Rancho, it's a taco truck, 100% recommend. And then in Petaluma, go to Mi Pueblo, right by the Phoenix Theater where we are from. And I promise you won't be disappointed. It's no Playa Azul, but it is solid.
Or you can come to my house. I make good tacos too.
On my
Legit.
way.
On my way.
On my
All
way.
right. So y'all just crushed those 2 questions. Apparently, we just can't come up with hard questions.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna hit you
apparently
guys with the hardest one.
Okay. Here we go.
If Tsunami Bomb was a potato, what kind of potato would you be?
Huh. Well, this is our second
Twice
time
baked.
around. Yeah, I was going to say this is our second time
Twice
around.
baked,
Twice
yeah.
baked, man.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. Twice baked. I mean,
Stuffed,
there's an
you know, all like basically stuffed with everything, you know, with all the
yeah,
fixings.
Nice.
twice baked with the works, everything,
Yeah, the works.
all of it. Kitchen sink.
Once again, Gibby stumped them in no way. No way. They're just like, what was your easy question? Answer.
Yeah, where's the hard thing?
Yeah.
No, the hardest one was trying to you made it hard when you asked us what's our song sum us up. Like that was harder. But yeah, we're talking about food. I mean, if Oubliette was here, dude, we wouldn't get a word in edgewise. She'd tear you guys apart.
Yeah,
She'd have so
she's
much to tell you.
definitely going to judge us on that answer, by the way. And
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to hear a bunch.
She'll listen. She'll listen to this.
Oh, she's going to listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you.
And then
Oubliette.
and then, you know, we'll have to do a Tsunami Bomb part 2 where it's just food for thought questions. That's it.
Yeah. You get
Yeah.
Kate and Oubliette to do it, and then get the other side.
We're in. We'll just do a part 2. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Well, you absolutely crushed our food for thought segment.
That's good. It's a good segment. I like it.
Good. I'm glad. Typically we have
It was worth the
at
calories.
least one more. You know what? We'll throw this in. We'll throw one more food for thought in. Okay, because it's one of the where did all my friends go? Favorite spots apparently for all bands. And since we're just talking about tacos, what's y'all's Taco Bell order?
Oh boy. Okay, I'll go. Chicken quesadilla.
Okay.
Bean burrito.
Mm.
Mexican pizza.
Nice.
And I don't think they have them anymore, but the cheesy fiesta potatoes.
Oh, those were so good.
Yeah,
I think
we still
they're
have
back.
them. We still have them in Minnesota.
Do they?
Yeah.
So that would probably be like my just one, if I had to order just for myself, that I'd probably crush all that.
Nice.
You know what I really wish that they still had though? I don't know if they have them where now I can't remember what they're called, but like the taco that had the hard shell and the soft shell together.
Yeah, I think it's called a double decker.
Like a double decker taco. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, those were so good.
Yes.
Crushed those all the time.
I make those at home all the time. That's like my jam.
Yeah. But that'd probably be my order. And then I'd probably get like a iced tea or something.
Okay. You don't want to drink those calories. You want to eat them.
Yeah. I don't really like soda anymore. Not really. At least
What? Really?
not full. Yeah, like I'll drink like the sugar-free stuff, but like the full of stuff that's full of sugar, I don't really drink anymore.
Yeah, I'm a zero sugar soda person. Just once again, I don't like to drink my calories. I like to eat them.
Yeah.
I have to say, people told me like if you take a break on soda, you won't like it anymore. And I took like a 4 or 5 month break on soda, and then I had the best Coke of my life. And I was like, that didn't work at all.
No, didn't work at all.
That did not work on me at all.
I
tried to do the 0
break.
Yeah.
I love soda.
I
came back. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought it tasted amazing. I'm kind of a 0 sugar guy now too. So it's kind of weird, but it's not as good, but it's good. You know, it's pretty good.
It does the trick.
Okay, so a Taco Bell Supreme taco.
Okay.
Hard shell.
Nice.
Gotta have the sour cream in there.
Yeah.
A burrito supreme because it's a classic.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, it was bigger. Now it's
Yeah.
small.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm
that's why you
feeling
got. That's
fancy.
why you have more stuff in your order.
Right. So if I'm feeling fancy, I'm fancy.
I'd see that.
Crunchwrap Supreme
Mm.
because they're amazing. It's
Yes,
weird.
they are.
Maybe I like to pretend I'm eating a torta.
Hmm?
I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so Taco Supreme, Burrito Supreme because it's classic, and then Crunchwrap Supreme. Um, I have a soft spot for those cinnamon twists.
Oh, those
Oh.
are so good.
Those are good. Those are good. Um, and then I think they have Dr. Pepper at do they have Dr. Pepper at Taco Bell? I can't remember if they get the Dr.
I think they're
Pepper.
a Pepsi one, so I think
They're a
that is
Pepsi
Dr.
one,
Pepper.
I
so
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, I feel like I get Dr.
yeah,
Pepper at Taco Bell. For some reason, that's the thing I'm
yeah.
blanking on. You guys talked about not drinking calories, but I shouldn't, but I do. So that's what I get. I get it's either a two-fer or a three-fer, and it can be any combination. I notice I always get the Taco Bell Supreme
Yeah.
every time.
You
I don't know
know,
why I'm calling it by its full name. I feel like I'm like John Michael Vincent, Taco Bell Supreme Taco. It's the Taco Supreme. Yeah, Taco
and
Supreme, Burrito Supreme, Crunchwrap Supreme,
and if
Dr.
you
Pepper.
want your Dr. Pepper, you go right ahead. Because here's the deal:
I'm not. I don't care what you have to say. You can keep talking. I'm not listening.
if we're eating, if we're eating at Taco Bell, no one is really fucking concerned with their calories at that point. You know?
You shouldn't be. If you are, you're at the wrong place, Holmes.
Yeah,
You're at the wrong.
you
You
gave
get your
up your
bitch ass over to
calories at
Simple
the
Green.
door.
If you care about calories, you walk your ass over to Simple Green and get yourself a salad because it's not happening at Taco Bell.
No,
Taco Bell's always great. I mean, even when it's bad, like
always.
there's definitely bad Bell, but like it's kind of like
It's
pizza and it's
always
kind of like
good.
sex. It's like it's always good. It's
Yeah,
always good.
it's yeah, exactly. Because it's like sex. Like even if it's bad, you're still having it. Same thing with
Yeah,
Taco Bell. It's always good.
always. I don't
All
know.
right,
I don't make the rules.
Hmm?
It's just it's us.
That's just life. All right, that's it for the food for thought segment. You guys killed it. Taco Bell. I'm glad we added it. You did great.
I'm
Now
glad you added
this
it too, because Taco Bell has been a vital, important part of our music career experience.
right. It's the number one food for bands. People in bands, I feel like.
Are they
Number
still
one.
doing that thing where they sponsor bands?
I don't
They were
think
doing
No,
that
so.
for
they
a
learned.
minute.
I don't
No,
think
They
they do it
learned.
anymore.
it's
Yeah,
been
they
a
figured that out. That
it's
was
been a
real
hot
good.
minute. Been a hot
Yeah.
minute. But yeah,
Wendy
that's
should
the
do
end of
that.
that's the end of food for thought. Now this is it. Now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
You're just gonna speak from the heart, shoot from the hip, whatever's the first thing that pops into your head, even if it's not one of the two options I give you.
Okay.
You speak your truth. Okay. Monster Energy or Rockstar?
Monster.
Yeah.
I think I drink more rock stars,
Wait,
but I don't.
no, I
I
do.
don't
I
drink.
drink.
I don't drink that stuff anymore.
You're right. I drink Rockstars. Sorry, I
Yeah,
forgot. There's a
I
flavor of
used to really
Rockstar.
I liked the Rockstar, the recovery one, like the
Yep.
lemonades. Those are really
Yes,
good.
Yeah,
I would drink
yeah.
those all the
I drink
time.
an orange one of that. Sorry. Yes, Rockstar.
Yeah,
I used to do Monster. Now it's Rockstar. I realized the
yeah,
orange recovery. It's the orange recovery one that I drink all the
yeah,
time.
There you go.
yeah.
All right. Pop punk or emo?
What year is it?
Throughout
2024.
It's 2024.
Glad we got back on the same page here.
I'm gonna say emo, and the reason is because I like some pop punk, but I would say that I listen to more emo on a regular basis. Yeah.
I'm gonna say pop punk, but with this effect. Okay, pop punk.
Okay. The funny
Okay.
the pop punk or emo is funny because it honestly means different. It's a different question to different people.
Well, that's why I said, like, what year is
Yeah,
it? Like, which
yeah,
one, which version are we talking? Because it could go either,
exactly,
like,
exactly. That's it's a good one because it's you never know
Yeah.
what is
Some
what
some
the
people think like, what's the difference? Yeah, all right, whatever.
exact
Okay.
that's the hot topic, kids.
Yeah.
It's all emo. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift or John Mayer?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
That's right. Skinny jeans or baggy pants?
Skinny.
Skinny jeans.
Disney Plus or Netflix?
Disney Plus.
I'm gonna go with Netflix. There's not enough on Disney Plus to keep me there. Like there's some, but
They got Hulu now. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean it's like everything, but
You-
fair. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean Netflix is awesome. I would say
Netflix
Disney
is
Plus
awesome. Well,
just because
but
the
if you-
classic.
if you-
I love Disney
if
Channel
you-
when I was a kid, so
Yeah.
if you were
Netflix-
saying Disney Plus plus Hulu, then that might change it. But if it's
Sure.
Well, Disney Plus is like Hulu is in
Yeah.
Disney Plus
Yeah,
now.
they own it.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Alright.
somebody
but
doesn't subscribe
Disney-
to Disney Plus, but subscribes to Netflix, and
No, I do. I have Disney Plus, but I guess I haven't looked at it enough.
But Disney Plus, they don't have Cobra Kai, so
That is true.
True.
Um,
Netflix has a Black Mirror too.
it's true.
True.
Stuffed crust or deep dish pizza?
oh, that's a good one.
Stuffed crust.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say deep dish pizza, but I have to say another thing. If you're in Petaluma, go to Old Chicago's Pizza. Also in the downtown area where the Phoenix Theater is, and they are known for their Chicago style deep dish pizza, and it's divine. And you will get dough that's the same dough that I had as a kid there because they've kept it alive the whole time, the mother dough, and it is the most
New
insane
dough.
tasting. Yeah, it's amazing. The food is amazing. It's Old Chicago's Pizza in Petaluma, California. So for their sake, deep dish. Love you, Keenan.
Fair. If you are in Duluth, Minnesota, don't go to Old Chicago's
Oof.
pizza.
Probably not related.
Probably not related.
Yeah, okay.
There's 100 different places you could go to before that, and it
Specifically Petaluma, California.
specifically Petaluma, Old Chicago,
Yeah.
not Duluth, Minnesota. Don't mix
Fair.
it up. Okay.
One might.
Don't. I just said don't fucking do that.
Said fucking no.
I fucking said don't. Vans or Chuck Taylors?
Vans.
Have a pair of Vans that I'm wearing, but I think I will pick Chuck Taylor's.
All right. This is the last question.
But I'm old now, so with inserts. I
Yeah,
gotta
well,
put
Dr.
inserts in
Schultz,
them.
clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I can't.
My Chucks also have Dr. Schultz in it.
Sometimes
So
you don't need them for Vans, but you always need them for
always.
Chuck Taylor's.
Yeah.
So,
Always. All right, this is our last question. The All-American Rejects or the Offspring?
I hate this question.
I know
I'm
what
gonna go with
answer.
Offspring just because their first few albums are kind of untouchable. They're actually good, but everything else they've done is garbage. It's so bad.
Oof.
And All American Rejects are fine, but I just never got into them.
Fair.
Yeah.
All American Rejects are very nice guys.
Yeah.
I will go, but I'm going to go with
100%.
the Offspring. Offspring.
Nice.
Yeah, their first few records are great. They're great. So that's
There's a lot
when do they stop
this and
being
that.
great to you, apparently?
after Smash. Like everything after Smash I thought was terrible.
Woo!
Like, yeah.
So everything,
Just gave me whiplash.
all of their popular albums, fuck those pieces of shit. Fuck, Smash
they're-
is obviously very popular as well, but
There wasn't enough on any of those albums for me to be like, this is a good record. Like Ixnay on the Ombre, like it had like the pretty fly for a white guy, and like
no,
that's
it did not.
it didn't.
No.
Okay, I see that's the thing. I don't even know like at that point because I just stopped caring, because they had these super mega poppy gross like
that was like
songs. I
the
was like, you
fucking
guys,
meanest. Like, fuck you, dude. That not even close. I
like,
actually like X-Nay
I don't remember. Yeah,
is my favorite. That I don't remember which was the name of the popular song off of X-Nay. I'm gonna look though because it was my favorite. Um, All I Want. I didn't even get to it. Didn't even pull up Spotify yet. It's called All I Want. Um, it was, but that was definitely before they like started going super poppy. Um,
AFI or Offspring? You guys.
I personally would say Offspring, but I like their
I can
albums
tell.
post Smash though. um, but I do like I liked more Offspring than AFI.
I would probably pick Offspring because I don't really like AFI,
Oh, there you go. All right.
but I also
Mm.
really don't like the Offspring either.
He's like quietly agreeing with Andy. He's like, I've been wanting to say this for years.
No, he says it all the
Finally,
I
time.
say it all the
time.
I'll say it right now. He sounds like Weird Al Yankovic.
Yep. No, we talk that we also
We talk
discussed
about
that.
this all
Really?
the time. Listen,
Okay, first
listen
off,
to it. Wait, hold on,
hold
hold on.
on.
Go listen
Weird
to it
Al
and think
fucking
about it.
Yankovic is a seminal, talented.
No,
No, they're all
no,
really
I
talented.
love
I
Weird
love
Al,
Weird
though.
Al.
Weird Al's
Yeah,
great,
Weird Al's
but
great.
honestly, especially if you listen to like this new album, which I personally think is actually pretty darn good compared
Mhm.
to their last couple. Um but if you listen to this new album and then like close your eyes and think of Weird Al, yeah, it,
Wow.
he hits it. He hits them
Okay.
notes.
Okay.
But
Somebody could
Weird
fill
Al is
in.
also genius.
Weird Al's amazing.
Yeah.
I got to meet him once. He walked into my office. It was amazing.
That sounds
He's
so
like
cool. I hear he's such a like a sweetheart, just a super
100%
nice
yeah.
person.
nicest guy ever. Yeah, he was so nice. I was like, oh my God, it's Weird Al. I was like, I don't get starstruck much. There's been like 3 people I've been starstruck with. And
Weird
he was
Al.
one of them. Yeah,
One of
Weird Al. It was Susie Sue
Okay.
and Danny Elfman. That I
Oh,
was
dude, that's
like,
cool.
Danny Elfman's really cool. That's just a flex, honestly.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny Elfman. Like I actually was just telling my son yesterday who was talking he was asking about the who made the theme song for Home Alone. I was like, it's John Williams. And I told him all of John Williams. I said, there's 2 like composers. That's it. There's 2 composers that are the greatest of all time. Like of like movies, right? Movies and stuff. It's John
I was
Williams
like,
and Danny Elfman.
Sergio Leone would like a word. Hans
Yeah.
Zimmer is really trying hard for your love.
Yes.
I was like, there's a
And
couple out there.
there's
But
a
yes,
couple,
those two
but
are those two are
tho-
fantastic.
those are the the S tier though. Like I mean,
Oh, dude, the bono.
yeah. I mean,
Like to spit out a legendary tune that people have thought about forever and scared people just
Mhm.
with 2 notes.
Yeah.
Bono.
Dude.
That's
Like
amazing.
it's
And if you know, you know. If you haven't figured out what I'm referencing from that, I don't know, watch a movie.
yeah. What just any start with any movie and work your way over to
I'm just trying to think about the time he's like, okay, Steven, I got this idea. Ba-na, ba-na,
then hold up. Then we're gonna speed it up a little bit.
ba-na, ba-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. I mean, it's just like, come on. Dude, that moment
Anyways,
and
back to how bad
Spielberg.
the Offspring is.
I
I'm sorry.
changed my
We're
mind. This
talking
is
about
my
the
favorite
brilliance of
podcast. My
Jaws.
favorite podcast of the year.
Yes.
We're
Best.
finished.
Number
On the
one.
strong point.
You sure did. All right. Well, that's it though. You did it. You finished the podcast. You know, now's your chance. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they could find you, what's next.
You can come out to tsunamibomb.net to find out what we are doing. You can follow us on Instagram at Tsunami Bomb Official, and Facebook is a nightmarish hellscape that torments me to this day, and we are fighting with them about which page we can actually operate because we seem to not be able to have a Tsunami Bomb page there anymore.
Oh.
They won't give us control of the old one, and we have a new one, and they won't give us control of that one because the old one exists. So we're in a nightmare right now. So I don't know what to tell
Fuck
you if you're on
Facebook.
Facebook. We have a Blue Sky. If you look up Tsunami Bomb, we have a new one on that. And we've pretty
Follow
much
you right
ignored
now.
Twitter for obvious
Yeah.
fucking reasons. But
Yeah.
I would say we only have one show in the books right now that we can talk about. We're gonna be if you're in the Bay Area, we're gonna be headlining March 1st at Dollfest at
Yeah.
Cornerstone in Berkeley. It's going to be a fun one. It's the first time this kind of festival is happening, but I guess it's going to be a regular thing. They're very excited about it, and we're excited to play it. We're playing with their label mates, the Darts, so that'll be super fun because we love them. We love us some Darts and a bunch of other amazing bands. But we are also we have, like we said, keep an eye on Alternative Tentacles and beyond because we have at least 3 EPs coming out, including the 7-inch I Was Betrayed and Star Power coming out on Alternative Tentacles, and then 2 other splits. So we got some new stuff coming in the early part of this next year, and we're really excited about it. So please check it out and listen to some songs. But you can find Star Power again at singmeastory.org right now. Just look up Tsunami Bomb on their site or Star Power. You will find it. And take a look and think about donating some money to a really worthy cause. And then you get a downloaded version of our song. Even $1 helps, anything. But please consider doing that. And you can hear a really fun song. Andy did a really good job on it. So.
Oh, thanks.
You did. You wrote that. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. And Ublia did a great job with the lyrics. And Kate and Gabe did a great job drumming and doing the vocals too. So
they did all right, I guess. I mean, they were there. I mean,
Taco Bell for
they were
everyone.
involved.
Yeah.
They were involved. They earned the Taco Bell. But yeah, really listen to Andy.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Andy,
Yeah,
Andy, any last words from you? If you want to shout out, Sell the Heart, shout it out.
Oh, I'm going to shout it out.
Do it.
Yeah, I run Sell the Heart Records and would love for you to go check it out. Just selltheheartrecords.com, .bandcamp.com, .bigcartel.com. Work with a bunch of great bands. Would love for you to consider checking them out. Purchase some records. We have the Patreon, the subscription services, all that good stuff. So every bit helps. And by all means, buy the record. Streaming is not cutting it. Streaming's great, but you need to supplement by purchasing stuff from bands, or else they can't continue to do band stuff. So that's my
it's true.
I like your threat. If you don't buy a record, these bands
then the bands
continue.
will stop doing band stuff.
I will stop them myself with my bare hands.
All you need now is, with that speech, like, a good old Sarah McLachlan song. If you don't, if you don't buy,
we'll get Sally Struthers to do like for only 10 cents a day,
bands, you
can feed a starving band some Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's true. I love it. Let's make a commercial.
Buy a record, I will kill this band. I will shoot them in the face.
Bring back the 59, 69, 79 cent taco menu.
Yeah.
Come on, Taco Bell. Let's do this.
Oh, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. This has been so awesome. You guys, genuine. This is probably one of the best, as Gibby was saying, one of the best of the year.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to be here. You guys got a great show. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting us on.
Hell yeah. Thanks so much. Everybody, thanks for hanging out and listening. It's been another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? We'll see you on Monday. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.